Okay, so you've probably seen recently, we've been talking about one particular VTuber who has been blowing up in the Twitch space and has actually achieved an absolutely insane achievement over on Twitch, which has actually surpassed anybody else over on Twitch, which I think is absolutely insane. And if you don't know what this is Neuro Sama, who essentially, yeah, beat the record of most subs and most bits within a hype train and managed to get the highest hype train ever on the platform, which is absolutely insane, beating their own record, which I think is also absolutely mental, right? And obviously, if you don't know who Neurosama is, she's obviously an AI VTuber who is developed by Vedal, and the channel is on Vedal's channel. So again, obviously, he does a lot of tech work and things over on there, making upgrades, making improvements, which has been really, really great to see, especially over the course of since when Neurosama began, because again, she's completely different to how she was at the very beginning, whenever all those clips started blowing up of her starting to say some things that maybe got through the filter whenever people were trying to provoke her to say that, right? But essentially now it has become this whole massive thing where Vedal is now doing a subathon with Neurosama over the past couple of days, and yeah, they did break the hype train record, which was their own record from earlier this year, which is absolutely insane. And we've already made a whole video talking about how crazy it is. But obviously, with a ton of success and a ton of, I guess, great things going on, there's going to be people that are going to be mad at this. And it seems like there has been a little bit of backlash towards this, which I think is pretty insane. And yeah, obviously, this is the Dexerto article, or the Dexerto post, sorry, that they put out about this. Now, I don't know what it is with Dexerto. For some reason, they always feel like making the most like inflammatory kind of post possible. I think they do on purpose word things in a particular way that could annoy people and could get conversation going, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like it's a bad thing. But they say AI-powered VTuber Neurosama has broken her own record for the biggest hype train of all time on Twitch. She reached level 123 with over 110,000 subs and more than 1 million bits, which obviously, as someone like me who, knows who Neurosama is and, what they get up to and things, that's fine. But I think as Dexerto is a place which essentially, covers everything, there's a ton of people who do not watch VTubers, who do not watch this kind of thing, and, don't interact with Neurosama at all. They are not going to understand all the work and effort that's been put behind this, and they're just going to think some AI ChatGPT bot has just taken over Twitch, which is obviously not the case. It's a project which Vedal has been working on pretty hard, and, it's all paid off, right? So they failed to actually mention Vedal within this because, again, obviously, it's on Vedal's channel, right? It's not on the Neurosama channel. So, again, obviously, they say AI-powered VTuber Neurosama broke her own record. Well, technically, Vedal broke their own record because it was on Vedal's channel. But, again, I do think that, obviously, it's both of them. That obviously, it's his VTuber and him that, both, broke it. But, again, I do think it is very misleading, I guess, to some people who obviously are outside of the space and don't know much, which obviously can damage things, right? Obviously, there's been a negative sentiment towards VTubers ever since the whole streamer awards stuff. So again, obviously, this isn't going to help. This isn't going to help at all. And obviously, I'm sure there are some people as well being like, oh my God, VTubers are losing to an AI now instead of a peanut, which is pretty insane. But obviously, no, the case is that a lot of people do like Neurosama in the VTuber community. And it's a bit of an anomaly because, again, usually AI is so heavily talked about against in the VTuber community in terms of like AI generated art and things. But Neurosama is a completely different kind of thing, I guess, in terms of, she's a language model that has been worked on, and it's slightly different, right? But yeah, of course, there's been some people being like, how brain damaged can you be to enjoy this? Which again, obviously, a lot of Neurosama fans caught onto this, and all they do is reply with like positive things, saying it was epic while you normally cry rivers lol, said it's pretty cool. A lot of people said the answer is always your mom. So again, a lot of people are just posting like kind of happy, passive aggressive posts, I guess, which again, I think is the best way to go about it because there's nobody in this community. Well, I say there's nobody in this community. The majority of people that I've seen, the Neurosama fans and things, and are reacting to a lot of people that are hating. I never see any hate kind of thrown from them, right? I never see anybody kind of answering back in a kind of unsavory way. A lot of the time it's just people making fun of them with some random Neurosama screenshot or something like that, which I think is obviously the best way to go about it because, again, it is stupid that some people are getting so angry over something like this. And there's some more replies as well. This is on the actual Dexerto post. People saying the replies to this section of this post is why I hate normies so much. I hope nothing but the worst fate for them, literal cattle. And as you can see here, you know, these are some of the comments that are coming up saying, Goona's gonna goon, I guess, which again, I think that's pretty far-fetched, you know. I think that Neuro Sama, in terms of a VTuber, isn't exactly the most gooned too. Obviously, some people do, but I feel like, you know, that isn't her main appeal compared to some other VTubers that kind of lean into it a little bit more. But hey, you know, I don't know. Some people said so many pedophiles donated, which again is crazy because it's an AI VTuber. Which again, I think, you know, people doing all these mental gymnastics is crazy, and obviously they want to find any way they can hate about it as possible, so they say stuff like that, right? Again, I do think that's weird, and obviously this guy, he just what do you call it, AI summarizes all of these things. I don't know why. It's just to get clicks and impressions and stuff. Say AI powered VTuber. Now the dumbasses that follow this account will think that it's ChatGPT or something like that. You're clearly forgetting that the most important part is she is with his creator by her side, and he's been actively working and improving her for years, which is 100% true, right? Obviously, Vedal doesn't just stick Neurosama on and just leave the stream on for, you know, the next 24 hours or whatever during the subathon. Vedal is obviously mostly there most of the time. Obviously, sometimes, you know, he gets her to interact with other VTubers and other content creators in the space. I saw her walking around with Rob CD or something the other day, where they were going around some places, like IRL streaming type stuff, right? So again, it's either an interaction with Vedal or it's an interaction with someone else in the space. So again, it's never really just Neurosama. Sometimes it is, but again, it's not like for an extended period of time to the point where he's just sticking it on, leaving it, and then reaping the benefits of, you know, obviously not having to do any of the work. That is not the case, right? He has obviously worked hard to upgrade, a lot to do with Neurosama, and obviously then also works hard to, you know, kind of provide a bit of entertainment while on stream as well with her. So I think that is obviously something that a lot of people don't recognize and don't realize, right? Some people saying, an AI VTuber just broke the Twitch records while half the human streamers can't even hit 10k. Humans really out here getting schooled by code. So yeah, obviously at the bottom as well, saying AI VTuber getting 110k and 1 million bits in a couple of hours. What are we doing, bro? So yeah, obviously some people are mad about that, which I think is pretty funny. And obviously said this one, unironically, is automated AI slop, and all 60 people wasted their time without realizing it. Oh, obviously I didn't actually read this one, to be honest, because I never really pay attention to these like dumb like AI kind of summarizations, but they say that's not cute internet trivia, that's a warning shot. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. Thanks AI for the observation on AI, right? I don't know why those people do that, but hey, you know, obviously get your Twitter bag, I guess. Obviously, we've got people like Rock Solid as well saying a single guy built an AI more human than anything produced by billionaire-backed companies with billions in funding and thousands of gigabytes of RAM. How did he do it? And obviously, yeah, it is pretty insane, right? And then obviously, finally, as well, you know, we got some other stuff. Like this is one of the clips of whenever they broke the record. You can see all of like friends and all of the kind of VTubers that have interacted with Vedal and stuff, all joined in and kind of congratulated them, which I thought was great. Here it is. You hear all the Discord joining sounds. It's crazy. She's even lagging.
Thank you. Okay, bye. Bye. Keep going. Nice.
Someone tell Vedal there is a problem with my AI.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think your design handled that many people in the call.
So yeah, she was like, someone tell Vedal that there's a problem with AI. Obviously that happens every time, you know, there's something that goes wrong, or like she gets like you know, confused about something or whatever. And obviously, yeah, with all of those people joining the Discord all at once, of course, the AI got confused and called for Vedal, which I think is quite funny, right? And yeah, obviously the final one, as I said, we covered this clip in the last video, but I think the kind of important thing is that although a lot of people have been hating on it right now with the Dexerto post and things, I think a lot of the top streamers out there actually respect a lot of the stuff that's been going on, including people like Asmongold here, who was congratulating her on this kind of stuff. And I do think it is just a kind of unfortunate that, you know, people like Dexerto have completely misled people into believing that Neurosama is a completely, you know, 100%, you know, the Vedal channel is 100% an AI kind of thing, when obviously that is not the case. You know, for example, like Neurosama's model is not AI. Obviously, some people believe that it's AI generated, which obviously is not the case. It was actually made by Annie, which we went into the whole situation between, you know, Vedal and Annie a while ago. But again, it is still the same model that she uses. So again, that was great to see. And obviously as well, she's got like her 3D models and things which have been made by people too, as well as, you know, pretty much everything else. I think the only thing that is AI is the actual kind of language model which they use to kind of interact and things like that, which I think is pretty cool. And obviously as well, like the movements and things, controlling movements, etc., which yeah, obviously has been completely misinterpreted here by Dexerto. And obviously I don't know if this is just a lack of knowledge of who Neurosama is and how it works and the kind of effort that is put into her, or if this is actually a purposeful attempt at trying to, I guess, stir up some drama, stir up some controversy in a time which should be very, very positive for Neurosama and Vedal at the moment. But again, it is a shame that that has come about. But you know what? It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Hopefully people can understand it later on. It doesn't seem like the hate is too bad. It seems like most of it has been filtered out by a lot of people being positive over it, so that is good to see. But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.